So in this video, we're going to be going over the exact formula for the Chiefs to repeat and win the Super Bowl again. Now, I'm warning you, this is going to be a long video, so please get ready to sit back and enjoy. So there's no secret that the Kansas City Chiefs had a very good season and still need some very solid additions to their team this year. And they are also the favorites to win the Super Bowl again. And some networks are even saying that they could possibly be the first team to ever three-peat. I mean, we know a team has never three-peated, but records are nothing to a guy like Patrick Mahomes. I mean, he always shatters records, and even the things that you thought wouldn't be achievable, he could do it, such as breaking the MVP curse and breaking the total yards record. But a three-peat is a different convo. We're going to be going over in this video how the Chiefs could two-peat. And there's no doubt in my mind that they can two-peat because they already won 2 Super Bowls in 4 years, which is honestly insane. So the first time we won the Super Bowl, we went right back to another Super Bowl, but we ended up losing to the Buccaneers due to unfortunate injuries. But for the Chiefs, man, now there's several reasons and several good reasons to believe that they could be the first back-to-back NFL champions since 2005. And more than ever in the NFL, it's quarterback play that separates Super Bowl pretenders from real deal contenders. And when you have the best player in the position on the center for your team, it guarantees that Kansas City will be in some serious contention to be champions again in 2024. And I honestly can't wait to see it, man. It's going to be very great to watch. And we know that Tom Brady's place as the greatest quarterback of all time is obviously set. However, I do believe that Patrick Mahomes is on pace to challenge that claim in the upcoming years. And what's truly remarkable about Patrick Mahomes is that he already has 2 NFL MVPs, 2 Super Bowl MVPs, and 2 championships under his belt, and he's only 27 years old. And despite losing one of his best weapons during the offseason, Mahomes still had an above average and elite historic season in 2022, and there's no reason to expect anything less than 2023. So when you have the best player at the most important position in sports who isn't even in his real prime yet, the Chiefs are perfectly lined up to win the Super Bowl again in 2023 to 2024 season. And it is so difficult to repeat as champions in the NFL because the roster turnover is usually so constant. And it's also common practice for rival teams to poach players from the Super Bowl's winners roster. And that's happened again this offseason, but majority of the Kansas City Chiefs core will be back next season. And the most notable free agents that Kansas City Chiefs lost this season was Orlando Brown and wide receiver Juice Smith-Schuster and Frank Clark. But all 3 of them are easily going to be replaced, so I'm not really worried about that. And the Kansas City Chiefs were just the 4th team in NFL history to use 10 rookies in a Super Bowl, and the last time that happened was in 1981. Chiefs rookies accounted for 418 snaps in the AFC Championship game, which was the second most by rookies in a playoff game over the last 15 seasons. That is a stunning that is stunning information for a team that went on to win Super Bowl. LVII, usually having rookies in key positions, it sinks a team's championship hopes. But however, the Chiefs overcame that and actually received major contributions from the likes of Isaiah Pacheco, George Karlaftis, and Trent McDuffie this season. And all 3 of them were also starters in the Super Bowl as rookies. So for a dynasty team like the Kansas City Chiefs, holding on to the key members of the coaching staff is honestly nearly impossible. And the success that top coordinators have on title contenders almost always lead to head coaching opportunities with other franchises. However, unfortunately, we know Eric Bieniemy did leave, but Matt Nagy was a member of the staff, and he was the quarterback coach for Mahomes at his best season, and he's now an offensive coordinator, and Steve Spagnuolo is still our defensive coordinator, surprisingly. And that's fortunate for the Chiefs that they're going to be back in 2023, and the Chiefs are going to need chemistry, and they're going to have to make sure everyone stays healthy as well. And another scary thing you have to realize about the Kansas City Chiefs is how good their defense is about to become. And you don't want to give a player like Patrick Mahomes a top 5, top 10 defense in 2023 or 2020. Kansas City's defense, it featured 6 rookies that played significant snaps in the regular season and playoffs. Those players included Trent McDuffie, George Karlaftis, Joshua Williams, Jalen Watson, Brian Cook, and Leo Chanel. And that's what is still exciting about the potential of this defense in 2023. Yes, the players are still very young, but the experience that they went through on a Super Bowl run will have them more prepared this time around. In addition, there are also veteran players on the defense that should continue to elevate the young players around them and help them develop pretty well. And this all season, the Chiefs did very well. They signed Drew Tranquill, Mike Edwards, and Charles Omenihu and Richie James, among others. These three players should bring different elements to this. Well, not my, I don't know why I said Richie James. I'm talking about the defense. These three players should bring different elements to this defense, allowing Kansas City to have more flexibility on defense, and it also gives the other players on defense to play to their strengths. In 2022, Kansas City's defense recorded 55 sacks, ranking second in the NFL. And a lot of that has to do with Chris Jones, who's having some contract issues right now. Hopefully, we can re-sign him. The 28-year-old defensive tackle tallied 15.5 sacks last season, but that's not the only thing Jones does for this defense. Jones' ability to consistently beat double teams and pass protections open up lanes for his teammates to get to the passer. According to PFF, Jones recorded a 92.2 pass rush grade in 2022 and was ranked the best defensive tackle in the NFL. And a player that benefited a lot from Jones' presence was George Karlaftis. The Purdue product struggled to get to the quarterback early on, but in the final 7 weeks of the season, Karlaftis recorded 6 sacks after figuring out things late in the season while utilizing his high motor. Karlaftis allowed the focus attention on Jones to unlock his pass rushing ability. And I do think Felix Anudike-Uzomah is entering a similar situation as Karlaftis did last season. And after releasing Frank Clark, we obviously was in need of a pass rusher, so selected Anudike-Uzomah 31st overall in the 2023 NFL Draft was a solid move. Like Karlaftis, Anudike-Uzomah possesses a high motor and strength that gives him opportunities to get to the quarterback. And Charles Omenihu and Keaji Colburn, who I both made videos on multiple times, are two names to also watch on the defensive line. The Chiefs signed Omenihu to a 2-year, $60 million deal with $10.6 million guaranteed early in the offseason. And Colburn is a value pick in the 6th round of the 2023 draft. And he's a player that could be strong alongside Jones at some point this season. At 6'2", 332 pounds, the former Texas Longhorn has shown the ability to contribute in the run game. He's quick off the snap and consistently creates leverage on opposing offensive linemen. Now, Colburn isn't going to make an outsized impact as a pass rusher, but he should be able to occupy blockers, which could free players like Jones or Omenihu. Now we have to talk about this Chiefs wide receiver core. Since training camp is going on right now, the Chiefs are still in search of a star wide receiver on their squad ever since losing Tyreek Hill before the 2022 season. Sunday was the team's first public practice, and there were multiple times in which James was a key target. Richie James was a key target for reigning Super Bowl MVP quarterback Patrick Mahomes. While James may not be the team's top receiver on the depth chart for the upcoming season, he appears to quickly be emerging as a trusted target for Mahomes. And Richie James was signed by the Chiefs in free agency after one season as a member of the Giants. He totaled 569 yards and 4 touchdowns on 57 catches last year, and that's with Daniel Jones. Then we also have to give Scott Moore a look, who has something he needs to prove next season still. Now that wide receivers Juju Smith-Schuster and McCole Hardman have departed, it's a lot more likely that Moore's greatest 2023 contribution will be on offense, where he says he is 30 times more comfortable than he was as a rookie who is still learning Andy Reid's playbook. And he said the game has slowed down a little bit. And he said it's kind of like he's not worried about what route he run anymore. He's just worried about how he's going to get open and what he's going to do to the defensive back versus knowing his job. And Scott Moore didn't have a huge rookie campaign. He only had 22 receptions for 250 yards in 16 games and only 3 starts, while failing to get in the end zone a lot. But he has a lot of talent, which should lead him to better results in 2023. And during training camp, I do think he's going to get ample opportunities to showcase his skills, while Kadarius Toney is dealing with a knee injury, which could even lead to Scott Moore having a greater role in the Chiefs' offense throughout camp in the preseason. And if Moore performs well, he should be heavily involved in the team's offense moving forward. So this is an opportunity for him to have a breakout summer. Now, Justin Ross. So it's not the first time Kansas City Chiefs Justin Ross has faced high expectations. The Clemson UDFA wide receiver has always generated some sort of buzz since day one in Kansas City. Based on the early years of his college career, I think he's getting more hype than he's ever in 2023 now that he's finally healthy. And on June 5th, NFL Network analyst Peter Skrager named him as a top 5 wide receiver breakout for the coming season. And he said Justin Ross might be a guy to watch. Justin Ross has never played in an NFL game. He was not drafted. And yet you're talking about breakout players. Who's a guy that no one's talking about, maybe nationally, that might get some buzz locally and could be a player that's like, where did this guy come from? That's Justin Ross. Let's see what happens when it happens in the games. But this was a #1 high school recruit. Started at Clemson, had injuries, and now is going to be on the Chiefs this year. Now, even though he said all of that, we have to keep in mind that Justin Ross isn't a roster lock. But roster lock or not, you can't deny that he has a lot of potential and his talent is unreal. But other thing we must talk about is this Kansas City Chiefs rushing attack. If their rushing attack could come along and do very well, again, with the Derek Prince, Jarek McKinnon, and Pacheco, all three of them doing well and playing their part, then that will also help the Kansas City Chiefs win another Super Bowl. And we're not done with the wide receiver core yet. I like MVS on the deep threat roles. Kadarius Toney should be getting healthy. And he'll be healthy by the opener, I believe. And then Rashee Rice is unbelievable. The catches and plays he's making in training camp, he's really showing out. And if this Russian attack could be as good as it's supposed to be, and the Chiefs' offensive line is playing its part as well, then everything should go perfectly fine. And I could see the Kansas City Chiefs making a huge Super Bowl run again, and they're repeating. And all we need is the defense to click like it did last year. McDuffie's going to have a breakout. I'm pretty sure Jalen Watson's going to be pretty good. All these players that was good year 1 should also go into year 2 playing very well. And I just honestly can't wait to see it, man. And I know these this type of long video, it was due. It was due. I haven't made a long video in a minute. And it's probably my first video over 20 minutes, I believe. So I'm hoping y'all watching throughout the whole thing, as we're not done yet at all. And when we talk about the Chiefs offensive line, this offensive line is unreal. It's going to be even better because they added Jawan Taylor and Orlando Brown. So we're going to be talking about how the Chiefs offensive line dominated the red zone in 2022. Because last season, Kansas City Chiefs offensive line played bully ball in the, I said bone, what in the hell? Bully ball in the red zone, leading to plenty of touchdowns. So in today's NFL, red zone success can mean the difference between winning and losing. While there are a great many of ways for teams to get the ball into the red zone, you have to finish. And physicality is a big part of what's needed to score touchdowns. And the Kansas City Chiefs offensive line was one of the team's underrated strong points in 2022 and was critical to the team's red zone success. So let's take a look at this. In high red zone situations, Kansas City was still able to take advantage of light boxes when the defense has fewer than 6 men in the tackles box as they try to stop the pass. So, for example, one of the plays, the Kansas City Chiefs was going against the San Francisco 49ers, and the Niners have 4 defensive linemen and just 1 true linebacker inside of the tackle box. So the Chiefs put tight end Kels in motion, setting up a trips look to the left. This leaves the defense expecting action on that side. So when quarterback Patrick Mahomes gives the ball to running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire on the right, it is not ready. And then Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith work a combo block to the second level, pushing back past the line of scrimmage. Then Joe Thuney gets just enough on his backside to reach block to the 1-tech defensive lineman, while Smith continues the work upfield vertically, driving the 3-tech further and continuing to set the angle for the run. Edwards-Helaire follows it, dashing in for 6 points. So even against a very good defensive front that San Francisco has, the Chiefs were still able to collect on the box count advantage, and our offensive line is too physical to be outmatched. So I feel like adding Donovan Smith and Jawan Taylor is going to even add on to that offensive line and make it even more physical and dangerous. So then moving the line. For offensive linemen, there's no more satisfying feeling than moving the man in front of him from point A to point B. And in 2022, the Kansas City Chiefs offensive linemen did this a lot. So example of this is when they blasted the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defensive line off the football. Humphrey and Thuney combined for a double team against nose tackle Vita Vea to out-leverage him from his spot. This surge creates the play's initial push and engulfing the middle linebacker and keeping him from the spot. This allows both Kansas City linemen to stick with Vea, riding him into the end zone just as Edwards-Helaire fights his way there. And then Smith also gets into action, taking great steps to start the play. He uses great leverage before stabbing and exploding his hands into the three tech's chest, and then he uses his leverage to drive the opposing player downfield, finishing the play with a big shove that pushes the defender out of the picture. And then the Chiefs offensive line also had a bunch of all-pro play. Last season, the Chiefs offensive line had two all-pro selections. Thuney had his second, and Humphrey received his first. And in the red zone, having two of the league's best along the interior made all the difference. And yeah, man, I like what they was doing. They set up a lot of plays for the Chiefs to capitalize in the red zone, and their offensive line completed a transition from a finesse unit to a bruising powerhouse, which is very beautiful to see. And I can't wait to see this offensive line go crazy next year as well. And them just dominating in the red zone helps Mahomes, and that's why most of his touchdowns came from the red zone. And the Chiefs' offensive line was regarded as one of the best units that season, and the main reason is because of the stellar play of its interior. The trio of Joe Thuney at left guard, Humphrey at center, and Trey Smith at right guard paved the way for the Kansas City Chiefs in 2022, leading to tremendous overall success. Kansas City offensive line finished first in ESPN's pass block win rate at 75, and it's just honestly crazy. It just goes to show you how much good things that the Chiefs have on this team and why they're going to be so dominant, how they're going to easily repeat. Hey, yeah, man, I don't just be saying this stuff just to say it. I mean, you have a team that literally has great players everywhere on the team. I mean, it's going to make it an easy way to repeat. You know, you have Travis Kelce, who's the best tight end in the game. Then you got his backups that could come in and make plays like Noah Gray and Jody Fortson. And then you got Patrick Mahomes, who's the best quarterback in the game. Chris Jones was the best defensive tackle in the game, even though we don't know much about what's going on with him right now. And a very hungry young defensive line. You got the best center in the game, best guard in the game, with a very young offensive line that's hungry. So when you got all these hungry position groups, then obviously you're gonna have a strong case to keep winning and repeat, you know? And that's the plan. The plan is to keep winning, to repeat, go out there, everybody make plays. As long as the Kansas City Chiefs can stay healthy as a whole, that's going to make everything even more easier. And I would love to see Kadarius Toney healthy. Like, I wish I could just see him healthy. At least, come on, give us 13 games, man. Give us 13 games, bro. Fully healthy. You coming in, doing your thing. You putting up these crazy amount of numbers. Give us 13 games of that. Same for Justin Ross. If he makes the roster, come in, give us a good amount of games, man. We need everyone we could get, especially Toney, because his red zone presence is going to be missed. His red zone presence is definitely going to be missed. All these players, a lot of these players have a lot of big roles when it comes to red zone. And we know last year we were struggling in the red zone for a little bit, but it got better throughout the season. And Jerick McKinnon is another video. That's another video. I'm not going to talk about McKinnon like that. I got to save that for another video. But Jerick McKinnon is a very good running back. Actually, I'm going to do a double upload today. I'm going to make a video on Jerick McKinnon as well, because he's a very good running back. And he was making a bunch of plays throughout the season. Now, a lot of the attention was on Pacheco, but you got to see what Jerick McKinnon was doing. Non-receiving touchdowns, unreal, unstoppable. And it just goes to show you how good he is. And a lot of people probably don't look at the Chiefs as a super team, but I do, because you have so much people that doesn't have big names, but they still make crazy plays. And on defense, I also can't wait to see what rookie Trent McDuffie does. Him and Patrick Mahomes has been going at it in training camp. Patrick Mahomes told Trent McDuffie, I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to challenge you. That's what he told McDuffie and Snead. I'm going to challenge y'all, especially y'all, because y'all are them cornerbacks that need to be challenged, and y'all going to be on them islands in the one-on-one plays, you know. So Patrick Mahomes already knows that he has to keep the Chiefs fired up, keep them competitive, don't let them get too ahead of themselves after winning the Super Bowl, because the Super Bowl is a huge achievement. But if you end up forgetting that it's more to win and you get too cocky, then there's a chance that you're going to take a loss. So we don't want to lose in the playoffs. We want to make a huge run and get back to the Super Bowl first. That's the first goal. Then you worry about winning the Super Bowl. and it's gonna be in Vegas. So you know we own that stadium, so that's basically a home field Super Bowl game. So yeah, and 5 more minutes for this video, but basically I'm just gonna give y'all a recap of what I was saying. So yeah, man, as long as everybody play on the same level that they played last year, no setbacks, and the Chiefs offensive line keep up the good work, the defense keep up the good work, the defensive line keep up the good work, and the wide receivers could come along and somebody steps up like Juju Smith-Schuster did last year. Travis Kelce is gonna be Travis Kelce. Mahomes is gonna be Mahomes. So the Chiefs already have it easy. Everybody else has got to come in and play their roles, right? And everything should be good and work out in our favor. Now, the Chiefs are probably going to have an easier schedule than last year as well. I can see a lot of them games where Mahomes could put up some crazy numbers against these teams, and the defense could definitely shut down some of these teams. So everything should work out well and go in the Kansas City Chiefs' favor. And I just can't wait to see all of it, man. I'm surprised I even did a video this long, but I've been planning something like this. I said, hey, man, I need to make a long video on the Kansas City Chiefs. Hopefully y'all show this video some love. But I was like, I got to sit here and make a long 25-minute video on the Kansas City Chiefs. I had just woke up, I brushed my teeth, got straight at it, got straight on the mic, and I came to drop y'all this nice video. But yeah, man, I'm just looking for a lot of players to step up this year, especially on the defense. Justin Reed as well. Last year I peeped, he had a very good season, and I think that next year he got have a better season. What I like to see, I want to see the defense get some more interceptions. That would be nice if the defense can get some more interceptions. I hope that they're working on that in training camp because they do need to learn how to generate some more interceptions. And them fumbles was good. Them sacks was good. Keep that up. And this is going to be a very exciting year to watch. Obviously, it's still a few question marks in the wide receiver core, but I do think somebody's going to step up. And if you did actually sit through this whole video, I need you to comment that you did because that's unreal. You got to be a real supporter to do that, you know? I know a lot of people aren't going to sit here and sit through this whole video, but if you're a diehard Chiefs fan and you like Chiefs Priorities channel as well, then you would definitely sit through this whole video. And I'm gonna be honest, it took me like an hour to make this. I didn't sit down and do this throughout one part because that's ridiculously hard. Like I can't sit here and just talk for 25 minutes. I had to get notes about what I was gonna talk about, and I had to keep coming back to the mic. But yeah, I expect the Chiefs to have a big year, like I said, and it's honestly obvious. Like I seen a reporter saying that we're gonna go 10-7, which is honestly dumb. Because how are we gonna go 10-7 when we just won the Super Bowl with 10 rookies? Come on, bro. And these 10 rookies are gonna develop and be even better next season. So we're going 15-2. Hey, we could probably go undefeated, but I see that every year. But we going 15-2 for sure. At least 15-2. And as long as the Chiefs don't have none of them upset games, I ain't trying to watch that. Like the Colts, I can't deal with another loss like that, bro. Like we need to lose to a good team. I ain't trying to lose to the Colts, or we have an upset game and lose to the Bears or something. But I know Mahomes is probably gonna have a 500-yard game this season. I feel like it's coming. I feel like he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. He's gonna have a 500-yard game this season because it's like he's going against all these teams with weak defenses. It's gonna be easy to like slice them and just dice them, you know. And last season he really didn't do it because he didn't have chemistry. Now he has chemistry with these wide receivers. But yeah, man, ain't really much to talk about. It's like I said, Chiefs offensive line gotta come together. Defensive line, everybody's gotta do their part and play their roles and play their cards right. And it's gonna be a great year for the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, if you enjoyed this video, I need you to like and subscribe, comment. You could join my team. I said my team. You could join my channel as a member. It's only $5 a month, or however you want it to be. And just, keep tuning in, keep supporting. That's all I ask for. Keep supporting, giving me feedback on my videos. Let me know what y'all think. I try to reply to everyone in the comments, but it'd be a lot of comments to reply to. So if I don't reply it, I'll at least give you a heart so you can know that I read it. I be reading all y'all comments. I may not reply all the time, but I read every single comment on my YouTube channel. Believe it. Trust me, I read every single comment. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe to your boy Chiefs Priority, and I'm out, man. Peace. Let me know if y'all want more long videos like this. I may drop another one before the 30th. So peace.